How many people in this room have brought in one new member in the last 5 years? Raise your hand. Fantastic. That's the best percentage I've found anywhere I've been. How many this year? This year being July, August. That's the way to go. So that's the way to go. So set yourself a goal, make a pledge. That's what our international president wants us to do. Is pledge. He's pledged 4 new members and 2 clubs. He's already brought in 2 members and has 2 clubs online.
We have some brand new members that just came in last month over here with us.
No.
Every time I induct a new member, I say, okay, now you're a member. I challenge you every year you're a member to bring in 1 new member. I brought in 40. I've been a member since 1987, so I'm on track. But I would ask you all to do that. Just think, if we each brought in 1 member a year, just 1, and raised them properly, show them what's going on, mentor them, make them a proud lion, you'll have members forever. That's true.
Back to our regular scheduled program.
Welcome back, America, to our regular scheduled programming. You know, there is a controversy going on around the country about the upcoming draft. It's been in today's newspaper. It is actually it's front page as well. And they're talking about whether the District 8S Lions has broken any of the rules of engagement that the NCAA has put forth. I'm not sure, Coach. Have they actually broken any rules, or are the District 8S Lions really doing a good job?
You know, Booger, we like in the interview, at the college level, we have we can't pay the players, should I say, so we have to think outside of the box. It's kind of like we're part of a volunteer organization, so you have to revert to some other means of recruiting to encourage players to join your team. But I did want to say this, the commissioner said something here, and he was saying that we weren't doing recruiting, but actually I disagree. What we're doing there, what he was showing you all to do was, it was a recruiting, but the person you're recruiting doesn't know it's recruiting, so it's a soft recruiting.
There's a simple way of doing it. Well, we've got to look at different ways of recruiting. But let's look at some of the worst recruiting efforts. We've actually got the top 5 worst recruiting efforts caught on film this week. And it's especially for you, our viewing audience, is only here on game day on our network, which is CUPN. Let's roll to blooper number 5.
Hi, teammates! I got good news. The news, I have a new member. I recruited Nolan. Nolan is going to be with us. Nolan, I want you to meet some friends.
Hello, hi, everybody.
Darling, come up here and have some coffee. Oh, sure. He is so excited to be with us. And I know he's going to be here for a long time.
And then he graduated. It's just a matter of make this team. We didn't go in first grade.
I'm knocking the chairs down. How are you? School teacher, and I know he's going to be good for our group, and he's going to bring a lot of ideas, okay? Yes, I know. I'm going to do extremely well. Let me tell you all something that happened last night. She goes crazy.
crazy. Could you see how that new recruit was trying to get into the conversation? I mean, they just totally ignored him. The scout brought that new recruit in, introduced him, and just left him standing there all by himself. And then when he tried to get into a conversation, heck, one of the lions almost knocked him down. And he couldn't even get involved. And then what do? You get discouraged, and you turn around and you just walk out. Audience, is that any way to recruit a new lion?
No!
Coach, as a specialist, what advice would you give the District 8S on a situation like this?
Well, you know, Barry, as that recruiter, as he brings that prospective line, and he should have never left him alone unless he felt he was completely comfortable in the club. And then second, it's great to have a couple of the other team members backing him up. You know, to go up and talk to that recruit, make him feel comfortable, ask him a few questions about himself, make him feel like he's wanted and welcomed, and never leave that prospect alone unless he's 100% comfortable with the situation of the group that he's in.
Yeah, that's some good advice.
So I understand you need one person, at least one person, to be that welcome person. I'm just curious, if that welcome person's name just happens to be Matt, can we call him a welcome Matt? I figured my wife would get a hold of that one. Well, let's see what came in on number 4. Roll to film.
Billy Jean, I'm so glad you came visit. Have a seat. Might be just deciding on joining our team. I think you'd be a very good fit.
I'm excited.
See this guy here? He's our offensive team captain.
How you doing?
His name is Mark. He does a great job of running the offense. They were number 1 offense last year, and they'll probably be number 1 offense again this year. The way it's going, looking good. And this guy here, his name is Ed.
Hi, Ed.
Ed is our defensive captain. Same again, defense, first in defense last year. And looking to do it again this year. Both of those guys have been with the team a pretty long while.
Sounds good.
And you see that guy over there? He's our head coach.
Hi, Coach.
He's been coaching this team for about 20 years. Been coach of the year for the past 3 years. Always got the team ready to play.
Super.
You know, top-notch coach.
Woo.
And hopefully this year we'll go to the Super Bowl.
Sounds great.
Hi, my name is Rob.
Hi, Rob.
And your name?
Billy Jean.
Oh, pleased to meet you. Where are you from, Billie Jean?
Down in the parish.
Oh, great, great. What part of the parish?
St. Bernard.
That's good. You're thinking about joining our organization?
Yes, I am. I'm very excited, and I'm excited to hear what you guys are doing, and I'm here to observe.
Great, great. I think you're going to really enjoy the club. We really have some really great guys in here, and I think you'll be an asset to the club. Now, you see this guy over here? That's our offensive captain. He's really a great guy. I mean, he led the team to the championship last year, but he really thinks that the offense is the only part of the team that actually works. If you're not on the offense, he don't even want to talk to you.
What?
Don't tell him I said it.
Okay.
And the guy over here, that's our defensive captain. He's another real great guy. Been with the team about 50 years.
Oh.
Yeah. I think he's a little old. It's about time to put him out to pasture. But you know, he's real good friends with the owner. So you got to watch what you say to him, because he'll let the owner know, and you might be without a job. This guy over here, he's the coach.
Okay.
Great coach. I don't think he knows that much. But he did take us to the championship last year. I think he paid somebody. But you really need to get rid of him, because the guys don't listen to him, they don't respect him. But he's in tight with the owner. So if you say too much to the coach, all these two guys over here, you might find yourself unemployed.
Thanks.
All right, ladies, close meeting order. Come on, come on. Let's start with what happened on offense last week. Coach?
I agree with you. I think the offense this month, this whole year has been really terrible. What do you all think about how we're going to clean that up this year?
What about that, Mark? What are you going to do about last week?
Well, Coach, I tried to run a play and plays, but they just didn't work. You know, throw the ball somewhere, people ain't in the right place. I just, you know.
Who was it that was in the wrong place?
Over there, stand.
That's pretty harsh.
Sorry, Coach, truth hurts.
Hey, that's wrong. I was in the right place. You were the one in the wrong place.
What did you say? I in the wrong place. I throw the ball where it is every time.
You are crazy. I study my plays all the time. I know them frontwards and backwards. You just don't know what you're doing.
You don't even know the dumb plays. You don't even know which routes to run. Really?
You're just trying to find someone else to blame for your inability.
My inability. I know the plays better than anybody on this team.
You should just quit and let a younger guy take over. All you old guys, you can't keep up with Stan the Man.
Stan the Man. I can't catch the ball. Here, Stan, catch.
All right. That's enough. You two guys have got to learn to get along.
Now it is.
The offense and the defense have to play together. You know that. We're never going to get around here anywhere unless you guys do work together.
Okay.
Let's move on to something else.
I agree. How about the defense? Ed?
Hey, don't put me in the middle of all this.
Hey, I'm not asking you to get in the middle. I just want you to explain the defense, what we're going to do.
Look, I don't want to argue about this.
Hey, I'm not trying to argue with you at all. Just want to know what's going on with the defense.
Hey, don't you worry about the defense. I'll handle the defense. You ain't even going to do anything about the defense.
All right, you guys. All right, stop it. Now, this is no way to act in front of a new prospective member, teammate. Now, doggone, let's just go out and practice. Forget this noise.
Boy, did y'all see that? Man, that was terrible. Could you see how let's boo that one, boy. That's number 4. That was terrible. And you can see how that new member, as soon as they came in, there's somebody that came and started talking bad about everybody and all the politics of the club and stuff like that. And then as soon as that meeting got started, there was nothing but fighting going on. Everybody's yelling and screaming and yelling at everybody. So audience, is that any way to recruit a new member? No! Hey, Coach, how should the Lions in the District 8S handle something like that?
Well, you know, in the beginning of that clip, that one person, they just wanted to talk. And they don't realize how what they say has such a great impact on that new recruit. So talking behind someone's back is never good for the team.
Well, also, Coach, you can see how that disagreement was really not anything that to be disagreeing about. It was a personal conflict. You can see it. Each one of those guys had a personal conflict with each other. How do we stop that from happening, especially when there's a new recruit in the room?
You know, we got to keep the personal conflict out of the meeting. You know, everybody should try to get along no matter what. And you can't have a good and successful team if everyone is fighting against each other like that. You know, nothing good comes out of letting two people which are angry at each other just fester. You know, you must fix it right away, but in no way should it be allowed when you have a new recruit in the room. This is where the whole team has to work together, conduct the meeting in a professional manner, then address that outside of the meeting in private.
That's right. They should take that outside. So, you know what? This is really getting good, audience. What y'all think?
Sure.
This is getting good, yeah. So let's cut to number 3. Let's see blooper number 3.
All right, teams, let's talk about how we're going to run our practices for this year. You know, we got to put people in charge of stuff. So I need somebody in charge of the offense and the defense and the equipment. So first up, who's going to take charge of the offensive backs?
Well, quarterback should always be the leader. I think we should stay with Drew. He's pretty good. I mean, he should be the captain of the offensive back.
Great idea. Drew, you all right with that?
Sure, Coach, whatever you need help.
Great. Now we also need someone for the offensive line.
Well,
Coach, I'll be glad to do that again this year.
Sounds good to me. How about the defense now? Mark, you've been a defensive back captain for a long time now. How about it?
I don't have a problem, Coach. I still have a few good years left in me.
Great. So how about the defensive line?
Hey, Coach, I know it's my first year, but I could do it. I'll be captain for you.
How about Coach?
I don't think it's such a good idea to use a rookie as a captain. Maybe we should find somebody that got some experience in that position.
That does make sense. Henry, it would be best to have one of the older players be captain. How about it, George? You up for this job?
Yeah, I guess so, Coach. Getting up there a little in age, but okay.
All right, now we need someone to be in charge of the equipment. All right, Don, you take care of it. Now we need someone to take care of repression.
Coach, I'd be glad to do it. I'd like to get involved.
Well, I don't know. Coach Jack's been doing that for the last 30 years, and it would really, really hurt his feelings if you took that position away from him.
Yeah, but he's been having a hard time lifting up those water jugs, and, you know, he's been around for a long, long time.
Yeah, but you just can't overlook 30 years. And to be honest with you, Coach, I think if you took it away from me, he'd probably quit.
Well, what if we put Henry and Jack as co-captains? That way, if Henry can't do it, if Jack can't do it, Henry can back him up.
Nah, I don't think that's going to work, because as you know, Jack likes to do it by himself.
All right, I guess Jack's going to do it again then. Jack, you good with that? All right, now we need someone to be in charge of the team meetings. Anybody? Got a room full of people and nobody's speaking up. Anybody want to do it?
How about Bob?
I don't know, Coach. I got too many irons in the fire now. Maybe you better find somebody else.
Well, Bob, just a little bit.
No, I'm too busy this year. It's just be too much on me. I'm sorry, I can't help.
Albert, what about you?
And no way, Coach, that's a little too much work.
Okay, all right. Anybody? Can we get somebody? Just anybody. Well, Coach, I guess I'm going to have to do it myself until we find somebody that's willing to help.
All right, well, I think we got everything we need then, so let's get out there and let's have a great practice. Come on!
That was crazy. Can you see how that new player really wanted to get involved? I mean, she was raising her hand and saying, hey, you know, come on, man, let me get involved. And no matter what, it was always, no, we're going to let the same old guys do it. And then when Coach even suggested, well, let's put co-captains, you know, let's put people helping each other and mentoring, it was like, nah, ain't going to work. So, audience, is that any way to treat a new member? No! Not at all. Coach, you've been around here. You're the specialist in this. What do you think should have happened in that case?
Well, you know, Barry, sorry, Booger. In all my years of coaching, I discovered that the best thing for a new member is to get involved right away. That makes them as they feel part of the team. This organization could be, this could be an opportunity, should I say, for this organization to take a seasoned Lion and that seasoned Lion mentor this new member, and they work together. Yeah, as our organizations get older, we got to keep filling our pipelines up with new recruits. And this new talent, though, is wasted if the old seasoned pros won't let them participate.
That's right. That's like that old song, who's going to fill their shoes? Well, if we don't let these young guys get involved, who's going to fill those shoes? Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know if it can get any worse than that. Let's see if it does. Let's roll clip number 2.
Okay, if we're going to run this play to the left side, it's a pass play. That means the strong safety's got to be contained. Okay? It's the only way we're going to do it.
Coach, Mike and I have been practicing. If I sweep to the right, I might hit the sideline. I can hit it right there, and it works. It will work.
Break my toe, why don't you?
I'm sorry.
What we could do here, it will give us more running room to the outside. A little space.
Coach, the last time we played this team, I was able to run deep on their safety.
Well, we're going to try that option.
Hey, that's a great idea. We call a play once or twice, see how he reacts. We'll see, go home.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, Coach, I know I just joined the team and all, but I've been studying their defense. How about we try the option on them?
That's good.
No. But, Coach, we even did it on my old team, and it worked all the time.
No. Well, Coach, when did we try the option?
20 years ago. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to run this play. We're going to get it right. Now let's get out there and kick some butt.
Let's go!
Yeah, major move. I mean, you can see, it just makes no sense whatsoever. We put forth a lot of effort trying to recruit people, trying to get them involved in everything, and then they start showing up and nobody wants to find out. Maybe there was something wrong. In fact, maybe somebody offended them. We were looking at that guy in the corner, we found out that, they had an argument. Maybe that's what happened. So somebody else might have to get involved a little bit. What do you think, Coach?
Booger, sometimes you yuppie kids just want to know they're missed. I found that as a recruiter, along with other members, making a simple call to that line can make all the difference. Booger, you also are correct about the work that goes into the recruitment. It's tough to lose a good player without making an effort to retain him. When I'm out training teams on how to retain their members, this is the number one thing I touch on. I always tell them that not only should the scout that brought the line to the club make the contact, but the lead recruiter also, as they said, the membership director contacts that player as well. Sometimes the player may have an issue with that scout or the coach, and you'll never know.
That's right. That's what it looked like in that one. Well, I don't know about you, audience, but I can't wait to see who hits the number one spot. This is going to be a whopper. Let's see what's the worst blooper of the week.
Mike Thompson.
Here.
Jeff Wilson.
Here.
Earl Flynn.
Here.
Robbie Jones. Robbie Jones. Has anyone seen Robbie?
Coach, I haven't seen him in months.
Coach, Robbie missed 3 games.
Do you think he's out of town?
Don't know, Coach. Don't know where he's been. Maybe John knows. He was the scout that brought him to the team.
I hadn't heard from him.
Have you tried contacting him?
No, not really.
Anybody try calling him? Anyone else?
No.
You don't think he's sick? Maybe out of town? Had a death in the family? Or maybe someone here offended him, or something we did offended him? Has anyone even tried to call him?
Not on.
Well, John knows him best, so I think he should have to call him.
Well, I don't really feel comfortable calling him. Last time that I saw him, we kind of got into a little argument. So, I guess if he has any problems, he can just call us, Coach. I mean, I told him to.
Oh, well. Drew Brees.
Here.
Tom Dempsey.
Here.
Anyone else?
All right, audience.
Boy, was that a bummer. I mean, you could see how that new guy, in the beginning of the meeting, man, I'll tell you what, Coach was agreeing with everybody. Everything was great. And as soon as that new player wanted to get involved, they had an idea. That new player came up with some idea. That coach just shot him down. What he said? 20 years ago we tried that. That is terrible. So, audience, is that any way to keep a new player? No. Not at all. So, Coach, what do you think about this? How do you not hurt a new player's feelings when they come up with an idea like that in a situation like this?
Barry, there's a great opportunity here to learn a lesson by all the team members. Any and all ideas should be open to consideration, even if they've been tried before. Listening is such a simple act that every team players ideas deserve to be heard. There's never a dumb idea. This is a prime way to use our lose our young talent, because they weren't there when that was tried before, so they don't know.
That's right. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I am so glad we brought this specialist in. He's given us so much information. I think we are really getting a lot of good information. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Well, you got to pay those bills, so let's go to commercial. Don't touch this out. We'll be right back.
Okay. You all did great. Okay, I have some more prizes to give out, and we have some more questions. And the first question is, what is the greeter's job when a new recruit comes to a meeting for the first time?
Welcome.
Welcome them.
Introduce it to all the members.
And stick with them, and stay with them.
Okay, stay with them. Okay, here we have another, it's the Louisiana Lions camp hat. And the next question is, when is it okay to talk bad about a team member in a new... Never.
They're not looking.
They're not looking.
Behind the back.
Okay, what should you do if you have a player that is not coming to a meeting or to any of your events? Reach out. Okay. And our number one worst recruiting effort. Who could tell me what the coach did wrong to the new player? Ignore. Rejected. Okay, I have some more prizes here. Anybody? Where's your guy back here?
Everybody got this one?
You got an extra sticker?
Yeah.
Magnetic bag. Sorry, sir. Can you retake it? And that, there you go. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
I might put it in our...
There you go. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
I don't know. I'll find out.
I'll be back in about 5 minutes. One last pass for a question here. Who's the sexiest commentator at the CTUN? Who do we want? Hey, you can have the bag, Mr. Shannon. All right, back in 30, folks, back in 30. All right, folks. Y'all are really doing a great job. I really appreciate your cooperation and your help. Hope you're enjoying this. This is really going to be great. We're going to go back live in 5, 4.
Well, welcome back, Americans. Thank you so much. Well, now we understand that the scout's responsibility is bring the prospective member to the table. It's the recruiter's responsibility to wine and dine them or sign them up and help get them signed up. And now we've seen some do's, or should I say don'ts, about what to do once a prospective member gets into the meetings. But what are some of the methods that the scouts can use to, thank you, John, some of the scouts can use to get those people to the table? What we call membership drives or something like that? Coach, you got any suggestions for our viewing audience?
Yeah, Booger. One great idea I like to use is, planning an open house or even a social event, but without being in a boring environment. And then here's what a lot of people don't do. I take I get a few teams of 2 or 3 members, and we go out and we see recruits at their place of business where they work. And that's the best way, I think, to find prospective Lions, by going in person and asking them to join and invite them to the open house or the social. Works very well. We can even make a challenge between the teams and have some kind of reward for the winning team who brings in the most recruits. This is the same way that we go out and we start a team from scratch in a community that has no team already.
That sounds like a pretty good idea, putting 2 teams against each other, within your club, make it kind of fun, have a little bit of challenge. That's a great idea, Coach. Well, let's go to our action reporter and see if there's any other suggestions out there in our live audience that can help the scout do a membership drive. How about it, Anita? Are there any suggestions out there for the scouts or any good membership drives?
How about it, guys? Any suggestions for the viewing audience?
I am a member of the New Orleans Philippine American Lions Club, and one way of recruiting members is to hold an annual picnic. Of course, we bring food and feed the guests. So each member will bring 1 or more guests who can be a prospective members, and we will show them our activities. When we have some displays, we also do our health screening, like blood pressure or diabetes or cholesterol, during that picnic. So the guests will be exposed to what we do, and of course we do have fun. We just, it's not more of just showing or doing work. We also show them that we do have fun, and that has worked for us. We are actually using the concept of 3 R's. We're doing our responsibility of service by doing the health screening, and we reach out by by inviting the guests. And so it's not just the responsibility of the chairman, the membership chairman to recruit. It's everybody's, every member's responsibility. And that's what we do. It worked for our club.
Thank you.
Very good idea.
Okay, I'm with Tikayu Lions Club from down the bayou.
Amen.
How far down is
Way.
down? Okay. We have a fair every year. We have plenty of people that come out, have a good time, they dance, they drink, they eat, and they have fun. So we have members who have friends who love to work with the group. So they come in, they help us out for 1 year, and they really, really had a good time. Meet everybody you know in Houma. Everybody. So anyway, this is how we get our new members. By having our fair, social, getting together, agreeing, having a good time. And that's about it. But after that, they come to our meetings and they see what else we do in the club year-round. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that sounds like the commish. He was talking about doing a big project, getting involved first, and then eventually asking to join. That sounds like that's exactly what you guys are doing. Who else has any ideas?
Anybody else?
Who's your club?
That's the problem, take the microphone across.
Yes, I'm with the club there in Knights of Columbus for 12 years, and my brother Jules there brought me in here because 12 years he saw what I did, doing all the cooking and stuff. So there's a lot of good members of my club, and people going to any other clubs there or social events there, they know the people, and then they bring them in as an invite there. I think that's a great way because they know them all the time. Thank you.
Booger, and I'm glad to say that Joe is a new member of Delta. And as soon as he came in, we put him in the cooking committee.
I can tell you when I joined, I didn't know I was joining. I was invited to a spaghetti dinner at the Airline Lions Club, and I thought I was going to get a free meal. I didn't get a free meal, but it cost me a little bit more than that in the long run. But it's just all about getting them to know what you're doing. Anybody else out there has an idea? What do y'all do at your club? How did you get involved? How were you recruited? You got any idea? Any special stories?
Word of mouth.
Got one over here.
Where?
Front.
From the new club.
This is my niece, Janie Young. She was part of the one that they started the new club that we're in. And she had been telling me all the things they've been doing. I tried to join the club where I live because I'm from down the other bayou, Lafourche. And it takes me about an hour to drive to Luling to go to their club. But I approached the president of the local club where I live, but it was mostly men in that club. So whenever I noticed that, I said, okay, well, I don't want to crab their style, So I called my niece, and I ended up getting involved in her club. So I'm thankful for them because they're very good to me.
Actually, that's a very good point because sometimes new people out there might not gel with that first club that you're bringing them into. So we got to keep our minds open and make sure that they fit in the club, because if they don't fit in that club that you're trying to get them into or something like that, they may not become that lion. I know several lions that were in a different club, and when they moved, they flourished. In fact, our governor today moved into the Delta Lions, and Delta Lions moved him up, and now he's our governor, and he's going to be one of our great leaders. So we got to keep that in mind too. We got to keep our minds open and our eyes open and understand that sometimes people have to move, or we build a new club. And that new club may be a group of people that are all connected together, whether it's internet-based, whether it's young professionals, or whatever it might be. Sometimes even establishing a new club might be the answer opposed to our membership. Dita?
Yes.
Anything else? Anybody else?
Anybody else have any stories?
Okay. Who's that film?
Okay. That's good. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. That's been great. We're about out of time. In fact, we're out of film, running out of film. We're out of time. But before we go, Coach, I'd like to know your prediction for the big draft in 2013-2014. Which university do you think is going to do a killer job in this upcoming draft?
Booger, my crystal ball is in the shop, but I think there's a lot of great teams out there working really hard, and recruiting all the right people for their team. But I would say with my research, I would put my money on the D8SU team. What about you, Booger? What team
Well,
you pick?
all I gotta say, I wonder what team I'm gonna pick. Well, all I gotta say is, go!